Major depression. It's like a never-ending roller coaster ride through sadness, hopelessness, and worthlessness. Picture this. Once enjoyable activities become as thrilling as watching paint dry. Appetite leaves you for good despite weight becoming increasingly significant. And what about sleep? Let's just say it's not restful anymore. But wait, there's more. Concentration becomes a distant memory and fatigue is your new best friend. And guess what? Suicidal thoughts might decide to join the party in severe cases. Isn't that just the cherry on top of this delightful Sunday of despair? Now, imagine trying to function normally when every day feels like a battle against the forces of gloom. Weeks, months. Oh, it's a marathon, not a sprint, my friend. But hey, who doesn't love a good antidepressant prescription? SSRIs, SNRIs, pick your potion. But let's face it, tackling major depression alone is like trying to fight off a swarm of bees with a toothpick. So, if you find yourself or a buddy stuck in this twisted game of emotional limbo, do the sensible thing. Seek professional help. Dysthymia. Dysthymia is just a gift that keeps on giving. A low mood that's been hanging around for at least 2 years. Like that unwanted house guest who just won't take the hint. Sure, it's not as flashy as a major depression, but don't underestimate its power to rain on your parade. From feelings of hopelessness to fatigue, it feels like it's easier to juggle chainsaws while riding a unicycle. And guess what? It probably is. If you want a proper explanation of what it is, then I have an anecdote for you all. Man goes to the doctor. Says he's been depressed for the last few years. Says life seems harsh and cruel. Says he feels all alone in a threatening world where what lies ahead is vague and uncertain. The doctor says, treatment is simple. Great clown Pagliacci is in town tonight. Go and see him. That should pick you up. Man bursts into tears. Says, but doctor, I am Pagliacci. Nice joke, huh? It perfectly explains the dysthymia disorder. You can look good on the outside and maybe even feel sometimes good and happy. But deep inside, there's a black hole, consuming all of your energy. There is a nice Jedi mind trick called Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, CBT. It will help you outsmart those negative thoughts and behaviors. With the right treatment, you can kick dysthymia to the curb and reclaim your sunny disposition. Postpartum depression. The roller coaster ride no one signed up for, but many find themselves on. It's like a crash course in extreme emotions, featuring the classics, sadness, anxiety, and exhaustion. Welcome to the wild world of motherhood, right? Mood swings that make the stock market look stable, crying spells that rival a Greek tragedy, and difficulty bonding with the baby. And oh, appetite and sleep patterns? They're doing a tango of their own. But wait, don't confuse it with the baby blues. Those temporary mood swings that vanish quicker than your pre-pregnancy genes. Postpartum depression is the heavyweight champion, here to stay longer and wreak more havoc. It's pretty darn hard to be a super mom when you feel more like a wilted flower. Self-care? Baby care? It's all a blur when postpartum depression takes the stage. But hey, there's hope in the form of therapy, support groups, medication, and lifestyle changes. Early intervention is the magic wand here, preventing long-term complications and keeping the postpartum monsters at bay. Seasonal affective depression. The winter blues that hit harder than a snowball to the face. It's like clockwork. Fall and winter roll in, and suddenly, your mood takes a nosedive faster than a ski jumper. Such a nice little set. Low energy levels that make sloths look like Olympic athletes, hibernation worthy oversleeping, a winter coat of weight gain, and a soundtrack of sadness and hopelessness. It's like the holiday season came early, but instead of presents, you get a lump of emotional coal. But fear not, my frostbitten friends. Light therapy is here to shine a beacon of hope. Literally. Basking in the glow of bright artificial light can chase away those dark clouds faster than you can say, sunbeam. And hey, don't forget your daily dose of vitamin D and a sprinkle of exercise to keep those serotonin levels dancing. Making lifestyle changes like frolicking outdoors, keeping a regular sleep schedule, and giving stress the cold shoulder can also thaw out those icy symptoms. Manic depression bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is the ultimate emotional roller coaster, where the highs are skyscraper high and the lows are Mariana Trench deep. There are two states, euphoria and mania. And then there are less pleasant episodes, depressive states. Manic episodes where you're on top of the world, energy levels rivaling a nuclear reactor, thoughts racing faster than a Formula 1 car. And hey, who needs caution signs when there's reckless behavior to embrace? But wait, there's more. Depressive episodes bring a delightful cocktail of sadness, hopelessness, guilt, and fatigue. Now, imagine trying to navigate your life when emotions are playing pinball with your sanity. It's like trying to juggle flaming torches while walking a tightrope. Of course, there are salvations, such as mood stabilizers, antipsychotic medications, and psychotherapy. And hey, don't forget to establish a routine, dodge stress like it's dodgeball, and steer clear of those pesky triggers. Because bipolar disorder isn't just a change in the mood kind of problem. It's a serious mental disorder that can really mess you up if not cured. But with the right treatment and support, you can still grab the reins and steer toward a fulfilling life. Psychotic Depression. Psychotic depression is where regular depression gets a plot twist straight out of a horror movie. Imagine dealing with persistent sadness and agitation, and then adding in hallucinations and delusions. It's like living in a haunted house that your mind built. People with psychotic depression might find themselves battling false beliefs, delusions, or seeing and hearing things that aren't there, hallucinations. It's like having an uninvited guest at your mental party who's constantly trying to freak you out. But this isn't your average ghost story. Psychotic depression needs immediate attention to stop the downward spiral and keep things from getting dangerous. What's the solution? A potent mix of antipsychotic medications and antidepressants, sprinkled with some psychotherapy for good measure. In severe cases, a stint in the hospital might be necessary, where safety and intensive treatment take center stage. Pro tip: steer clear of alcohol and drugs. They're like inviting more ghouls to your already crowded haunted house, making everything worse. Early intervention and keeping a close eye on things are key to making sure the ghosts don't come back for a sequel. Premenstrual Dysphoric Disorder, PMDD, where PMS decides to go full drama queen and crank everything up to 11. It's like the pre-show before menstruation turns into an emotional and physical torture that you didn't sign up for. Imagine mood swings so wild, they give a trapeze artist a run for their money. Throw in irritability, anxiety, depression, fatigue, and physical discomfort, and you've got a week or two of pure chaos leading up to the main event. PMDD isn't just a minor inconvenience. It can derail your daily life and mess with your quality of life like a bad plot twist. The treatment cavalry, including medications like antidepressants and hormonal therapy, are ready to swoop in, and lifestyle changes can help steady the ship. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and other therapeutic methods are like your personal trainers, helping you tackle those mood monsters head on. Keeping a symptom diary and spotting triggers can turn you into a kind of PMDD detective, cracking the case on what sets you off. And remember, self-care is not just a buzzword. Get enough rest, eat well, and indulge in activities that help you unwind. Educating yourself about PMDD and knowing your treatment options can help you get ready to take on anything. Atypical Depression. A twist on the classic that keeps you guessing. The main symptom you should know is mood reactivity, meaning you might actually perk up when something good happens, only to plunge back into gloom later. This tricky form of depression brings along its own few party favors: increased appetite or weight gain, excessive sleepiness that rivals Rip Van Winkle, a heavy feeling in the limbs as if you're carrying invisible weights, and a hypersensitivity to rejection that makes social interactions feel like navigating a minefield. Diagnosing atypical depression can be like solving a riddle, thanks to its unique symptom mix. But once identified, the treatment lineup includes a combo of therapy, medication, and lifestyle tweaks. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, and monoamine oxidase inhibitors, MAOIs, are the meds of choice, stepping up to balance those pesky brain chemicals. Therapy, especially cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and interpersonal therapy, IPT, can get your mind back in shape as it should be. Communication with healthcare providers is key. Think of it as laying all your cards on the table to find the best hand for tackling your symptoms. So, keep an eye on those symptoms, stay connected, and don't hesitate to reach out for help, because a brighter, more balanced life is well within reach. Disruptive Mood Dysregulation Disorder, DMDD, the childhood mood disorder that turns temper tantrums into an Olympic sport. Imagine dealing with severe outbursts that seem to come out of nowhere and are widely disproportionate to the situation at hand. These aren't your typical tantrums. They're the emotional equivalent of a volcanic eruption. Children with DMDD are like walking storm clouds, carrying chronic irritability and frequent temper tantrums wherever they go. These catastrophic emotions can wreak havoc on their social lives, academic performance, and family dynamics, making everyday life feel like hell on earth. Symptoms of DMDD usually make their grand entrance before the age of 10, and often bring along friends called ADHD or anxiety disorders. It's like a chaotic party in a child's brain, and everyone's invited. Treatment for DMDD typically involves a blend of therapy, parent training, and medication. Every child deserves a chance to weather the storm and find their way to calmer days.